Good evening. It's time once again for the HideNet Weekly Market Report and Review. My name is Don Oshman, Editor-in-Chief of HideNet Market Reports, and the date is Sunday, February 11th, 2018. Andrea Guola reports from Europe this week that they're getting ready for the MyCam in Milan, which starts today, actually. It actually started today in Italy. And he says what's going to come out of this is the prospects of leather goods, footwear, and how business is going to be at the MyCam and for the year, for the year. And we'll have a full report, exclusive report from Andrea sometime this week, or most of the latest next weekend, on what this fair was like. And then following that, by the way, is Lineapel coming up. And after that, before that, is the one in Paris. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that's what's coming up. So we got European fairs, namely the big ones are in Italy, but in Paris there's a good show too, but that's mostly for more exotic leather goods, and leather. In Europe also this week, Andrea reports that the sheepskin market has advanced and it's being pushed from leather goods. So in other words, the price of European sheepskins got so attractive that leather good makers have found a use for them. Meanwhile, he says medium quality footwear struggles. It's got to be the real cheap stuff or the exclusive luxury goods. Bulls, he said, are stable and automotive keeps taking them. All but the larger cows, which can be used for automotive and upholstery, however, struggle. And we hear that from all origins. In Switzerland, news this week is that Bally, the famous Bally brand, has been sold to Chinese Shandong Group. So that's pretty interesting when a Chinese group takes over a famous name from Switzerland. In North America this week, it was another slow week where production exceeded sales. Texas were basically steady on very lower volume, or published volume, but there was a little drop in about all other steer selections, like 50 cents to a dollar. Is this the beginning of a market downdraft? Hard to say. But Vera Dordick, who wrote this week's report, examines in our market observations what this could mean and what happens as we're getting very close to the APLF in Hong Kong. Also, there was a big news by Tyson, who announced a major first quarter profits in all their categories, which is poultry and pork and of course beef. They are the largest beef producer and hide and wet blue producer in the world. The U.S. car sales were reported to be slightly down in February compared to January, and there's a trucker shortage taking a toll on U.S. profits. Trucks are in short supply, where everybody shipping hides by truck has to pay more money, period. And even there's some upward draft in ocean freight rates as well. Slaughter was on its typical track, and combined exports were only 315,000 pieces. Export shipments were 537. This is still below slaughter, which was well over 600,000. And combined outstanding has fallen a little bit from over 4 million to now a little bit below 4 million. And as I said at the top, slaughter exceeds sales and shipments again. And maybe finally it's catching up now with prices starting to dip. The steer producers were able to resist lower bids, and now maybe they can't do it. There's a whole examination of this, why it happened, what happened, in this week's U.S. Weekly Report. We advise you to get a free trial and see the whole story. In Latin America this week, Ronald Guel reports that Brazilian rides dropped 5 cents. But meanwhile, TR1, what blue, hasn't changed at all. It's still roughly 95 cents to a dollar CFR. In Paraguay, prices were unchanged, and the Argentine slaughter showed signs of stabilization. Brazil reports that their January leather exports were up in volume, but down in volume. That's because of the price. Up in volume, down in value because of the price. JBS increased their cattle slaughtering capacity in Brazil in the MT unit by 50%. And footwear suppliers show material advances in Leon. So that's a rough idea of what went on this week in those particular markets. There's also the international report, which talks about 30 other origins and destinations, what the market is. And of course, our very popular This Week in Leather, which examines, especially now with these shows coming up in Europe, the sale of leather goods, what price styles are popular, what's happening amongst the brands, etc. So that's it for this week. Look forward to seeing you next week. In the meanwhile, thanks for watching, and get a HideNet trial and see what you're missing. Thanks. Bye.